back, man. Technical difficulties in life. Sometimes you have them, but we have figured it out. Or actually, Carl figured it out. He's not only a great dent guy, great tool maker. He's also a genius on Be Live. Carl, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning, man. It's going to be a great morning.
Always. You gotta have a good attitude first thing.
You got to have a good attitude, buddy. And you know, we have some other special guests that will be coming on shortly here. Again, audience, I apologize for the conundrum, but we are back. Carl, for those of the people that don't know you, introduce yourself.
I'm Carl Stucky. I live in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. I'm a 23-year PDR technician. Been making tools, well, been selling tools for probably 10 years now. But you know, us old tool guys, we've always been tool makers. All of us, we all had to make a lot of stuff. There wasn't all the stuff available for us at the beginning. Still do dents part-time, mostly hail. Now that we bought the new building last year for the tool company, we also have a 700 square foot garage. So I still do some retail, and then we got hit with hail a couple years ago. So we had a few shops going.
So I'll tell you what, you know, Carl, you know, we knew each other, prior to this being, you know, the tool industry, but, you know, Carl and I really met and got to know each other in Colorado on kind of a gig that, you know, how many gigs, let me ask the audiences, how many gigs do you guys contract for, even if it's one car, but, you know, pretty much up and leave what you're doing, head out there to go and do a couple of vehicles with the obligation of not getting paid to do these really busted up cars, you know? And I'll tell you what, we all did that kind of with the preface that we might be on a show. I won't really get too far into it, but in the meantime, I mean, you know what completely blew my mind was being able to work alongside you, man, and being able to see you know, a whole nother side of you that I think a lot of guys in the industry don't get to see. And that's, you know, you in your habitat working. And there was also some other guys that are going to be joining us here in a moment. I call them the dream team, but we're going to go ahead and, you know, continue to talk. You know, I saw you do a dent right on the corner of the cab corner of this truck, dude. And you weren't having it. You were going to get that thing out, but just the way you attacked it, how you put your sleeves on, dude. It's like you have a ritual. You put your sleeves on, you start going after this dent, man, and you start making it happen. I was quite impressed, I have to say. You know, you're a very, very good technician.
Oh, thanks. I try.
Oh, dude, no, he spanked that thing out of the park. We were all standing ovation on that one there, you know. But dude, the tacos in the beginning of this, dude, those were off the hook. So tell the audience a little bit more about those tacos, because I can't find anything that's even close to those tacos, and I'm in Napa Valley, so you know, they need to step it up. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. They need to step up their taco game after eating those bad boys. Tell them about that.
Well, that's my good friend, Adrian Bonilla, him and his brother Tavo. We've known each other for years. They're both from Mexico, but they live in the Denver area. Both very, very, very good technicians. The whole Bonilla family is very mechanical. You know, those guys can tear a car apart. They can build anything. And Adrian is taking, before this, he had a bus he converted over. Basically, like before all the food truck craziness started, he was already doing it. And he took a shipping container and made it into a little standalone taco stand. You know, the sides folded out and gave you a sitting area. You know, you saw he had all stainless steel appliances inside that thing. It was,
dude, it was, I mean, it was meticulously clean. The layout was awesome. But dude, I care less about all that, dude. It was how good the food was, dude. It was so good. I was so stuffed, Carl. I mean, and they just kept coming with these different dishes, and I mean, it was just fresh tacos, fresh food. You know, and after all this, guy's like, "Hey, dude, you want a burger too? You know, you're a big guy." No, man, I'm so full. I mean, it was just incredible. So the audience got to see a little bit on the intro, man, about that food that was on there. It was just, dude. If you guys are in Colorado, what's the name of this business now? It's not the taco box anymore, right?
It's Taco Block.
Taco Block.
Yeah, and if you look up Taco Block kiosk, I don't know where they're set up right now. Let me see. Yeah, the address is still showing in Colorado.
Okay.
Go see them. Go see Adrian. Have like just some of the best, most authentic street tacos you can come by.
Oh, it's
Adrian definitely looked out
if
for
us. If you guys are anywhere in the
family.
Colorado area, I mean, don't pass go. Get in your car, find out where they are, push the kids aside, go get some of the food because it is so good. I mean, I'll finish the whole show on talking about these tacos. Okay. So, hey, I wanted to kind of throw something in the mix here. You know, talking about the dream team, dude. I really truly believe you. I mean, I'm into my horn. Me, John Renstrom, who blew my mind as well, and then Wade Hartley, who is an awesome tech, but also adds that comical relief, dude, to keep everybody in the mix here. Would you say that I mean, I call it the dream team, dude. We were absolutely.
I mean, those cars were beyond beat. Like we shouldn't even be fixing that stuff. But it didn't feel like it wasn't a hard time though. You know, it was nice and fairly relaxed. Hey, there's John.
Hey. What's up, guys?
How you doing, my brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing those on a mini scale up here in Wyoming right now. But man, it's nothing. I still reference your cab corner, Carl.
Thanks.
In fact, I was trying to find that video just the other day because I wanted to show it to Chad here because that was such an awesome repair on that. Just such a gnarly dent on the very top roll of that
right on the corner of the cab corner, right on the corner of that pillar, man. It was just like completely inverted, and he knocked it out of the park. Now, hey, John, I mean, dude, this is a guy that, we're all just kind of, going like this, looking at this roof, I'm completely petrified. I'm like, dude, I would have kicked that thing if he was in California. Hell no, would I have done that car? And, all these guys are like, yeah, we could pretty much, but John, all the straws came out to go do the vehicle, and John was the first one. Oh, I got this, man. Dude, that dude is a panel driving rock star. I'm telling you, he took on that roof, didn't he, Carl? He took that sucker on.
Oh yeah, that was a camp out roof there. Man, Ian, you rolled through the side damage. I mean,
yeah,
that's what I do.
We did a good job though. I mean, all the cars turned out great. I mean, we could all go out on the trail together and tag team some cars and do well.
I think we might have to do that, man. If anything, close to the taco truck place. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I mean, as long as it's in Colorado, as long as it's within a couple miles of that taco truck, dude, and just keep them coming. Just keep them coming in. So, what are you doing right now, Carl? What are you up to, man?
Building me tools.
Yeah, I'm not really doing. I got called to go out with. I have a hail partner I normally work with, Tim Payne. He's out in Iowa. Iowa. But right now, with everything going on, and we're so busy with tools, I'm kind of staying put. I'll do a little retail here and there, but I'm not really wanting anybody to come to our shop. I'm not. Once all this stuff started closing down, we just kind of keep it to ourselves. It's the family. My little brother works for us. We hired him last year, and really that's all we come in contact with. I did a car a week or so ago. I did it outside, wearing gloves. I didn't even touch the inside of the guy's car. I'm like, you rolled the window down.
It's something too that's going on that is just really, it's just so out of the norm. How are you handling that, John?
Where I'm sitting at, I'm trying not to touch the cars sitting on the ground for 48 to 72 hours.
Got it.
because they say that metal surfaces it could only live for like 5 or 6 hours or so, but on plastic it could be up to a couple of days. The body shop that's feeding us quite a bit of work, they're doing their own decantam by the time when the car gets dropped off before they ever bring it to us. I don't touch the keys minimum. The guy that I'm working with handles the bulk of that, and I try not to do anything on a car until they've been sitting outside all alone, right, untouched for at least 2 to 3 days. Now, and it's been working. I've been doing that for 3 weeks now.
Now, do you guys? I know I talked to Carl a little bit about this, but do you know personally some people that have come down with this horrible sickness?
The only person that I know personally is my cousin out in Utah. So I do have a cousin. Just as he was getting over it, it kind of flared back up on him, and fever all come back, and it sounds like he's doing a little bit better now. But that's the only person that I know personally. And I haven't bothered to go get tested. I mean, I've got a compromised immune system. So ultimately, my lifestyle didn't change too much. I was always careful, mostly social distance. MTE is like my super big event where I'm close to, plenty of people. I survived that, so I figure I'm good.
Did either of you get sick on, during, after? Okay, so.
Yeah, I didn't, but our oldest son, Rico, had his fever started Sunday morning before we left the hotel, and he had a pretty high fever for about 4 days before it finally broke.
I don't know what to say, but everybody I pretty much came in contact with was sick. I mean, and I don't know if it was me. I don't know if I was carrying it. If I was, I'm really, really sorry. But it's just in all seriousness, though, it's not something to joke about. There was a lot of people in MTE that were really sick,
very sick.
I think the most I've ever seen, like Alma got sick a few years ago, because you know how it is when you're manning your booth, you're nonstop all day, and we were starving, and almost handling all the money, and we didn't have hand sanitizer. My mom brought us sandwiches. My mom always comes up and takes care of the boys while we're working.
Right.
And Alma was so sick that week. So now we always make sure we have a giant thing of hand sanitizer. We're constantly sanitizing our hands. We have it out for the customers so they can sanitize their hands.
Right.
And thankfully this time we escaped it. Rico, he was at the amusement park, so there's no telling. And my mom came down with something about a week after that.
It's just,
so many people were so sick. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's the most I've ever even heard of at an MTE, and it was it was weird timing, right when this was really taking a foothold over in China. That all of a sudden we had like a record number of
it was really strange. Everybody that I've heard from, they all said that they went and got tested for the flu, and it was all negative. Every single one of them, said that they.
Well, I think 3 people. I know James said he got tested, and James Lee said he got. I think he tested positive for flu A.
Oh.
And then another friend of mine from West Virginia, Jonathan, he got tested and he had flu A.
Oh. Okay.
And all the vaccines last year were for flu B.
Right.
So flu A really hit some people hard. So I know a few people did have positive tests for flu, but I know others didn't.
Hudson was wiped out. Hudson Tansey was wiped out hard, and he did not test positive for flu or for COVID. So they don't know what the heck he had. And everybody I was in contact with was
Paul Whitehorn. So was all kinds of people were. Yeah. Hey, I got a question for both of you guys since I got you guys on here. I tried to get Wade to come on board here today. If the audience is listening, call that guy. Tell him, dude, Ian sent you a link. Get on to the show. Complete the dream team. Make it happen. But, I had a question for both of you guys. As we're, getting, towards our latter part of our PDR careers, I would say, granted, I still got plenty of time. Don't think you're taking over because, it just ain't happening. But as we are getting a little older, we've been in the business for a long time. What would be some things that you would offer up as far as advice to technicians, especially starting in the PDR realm now? But what would be some key tips, Carl?
One of my biggest things, especially being a tool company, is maintaining your equipment, taking care of your equipment. Especially for us that have been in this so long, like if I flew overseas and I dropped my light with a fluorescent bulb, good luck finding that bulb over in Spain, or Europe. So if
had it happen many times, not in other countries, but man.
Well, just and there's certain things you should do, and little things that could save you a lot of time and money in the long run.
Right.
Not that I don't want to keep selling, selling you tools, but just wiping the panel off a little bit before you suction cup your light to it, cleaning your suction cups,
keeping stuff clean,
cleaning your tools.
Right.
Just little things like that to maintain and take care of your stuff, and because these are things that help you make money. If you don't have a light or a reflection board to be able to see the dent, you're not going to fix the dent.
It's real talk, man. I got to tell you, I'm guilty of that myself. I usually don't clean my stuff until it stops working. I can't see anything from it. There's a big blob of polish on it or something. So yeah, I'm
not
guilty.
Me.
What about you, John?
I baby my tools, man.
I know you do.
Same 4 wheelchair batteries that I bought new in 2013. All 4 of them still power my lights.
Wow.
But now I'm getting rid of them because I'm moving everything to Stucky XL light and glue guns, and I'm only doing 1 battery. I was on the phone with Stucky just last week, ordered all new, ramping my stuff up. But honestly, for guys starting out, look, fixing dents is going to be the easiest hard part of the job. Business. Understanding business is going to be the most complicated. It doesn't matter if you're just a tech in the back. If you don't understand the paperwork at all, this business will eat you alive, just like any other business will. Yep. But the business itself will eat you alive because you will never make the money you want to make or need to make. So understand the business of automotive repair. Understand what it is that you're doing. Why are estimates wrote the way they are? What does it take to actually fix the car? You master that aspect of the business, and you'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, and know your worth. Don't just give stuff away to get work. Stick to your guns a little bit.
Ian, you showed me some Subaru fenders.
It was something that I was just telling my son yesterday about. About that, knowing your worth, knowing. When you get a customer and you bid something, for instance, you bid something at $1,800, you spend, he's young, he's still learning the program, but he is adamant about being correct. And I give him props for that. He's got me standing over him at the end of the day going, what's this? So, he took 45 minutes on an estimate. And when everything's all said and done, all the circles are made, all the prices are calculated, everything is done, pictures are made, everything's logged into MTRX. The customer comes at him with, well, would you do it for, $1,100 cash, and it's like, what do you do in that instance? What do you say in that instance? And I thought, I'd tell you what I'm going to say, and he goes, what? And I said, first off, I'm just going to stare at him for about 15 seconds. I'm just going to stare at him for about 15 seconds with a completely straight face.
And that uncomfortable silence.
We're going to have to meet way closer. Because just the taxes and the other things doesn't equal up to be, $700 worth, on here. And this is average. This is the standard for paintless dent repair pricing. Now I understand. Now you guys, I know will agree. We're in crazy times. But that doesn't mean that you need to cut it in half. It doesn't mean. It just means being a little bit more thoughtful, being a little bit more precise with your estimates. What's to say you do it and, there's a small dent over here. You're going to charge, tell you what, you pay my bill, you pay what I'm asking for here. I'm going to get this one out here for you. I'm going to polish your headlight. I'm going to do this or that. There's no harm, no foul in that because you're still making money and you're still getting things done. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I try to throw, in a case like that, instead of trying to discount, try to throw in that extra thing, just like you said. Like polish, throw in that extra dent or maybe walk around. You know what? Instead of replacing that molding, we could save you that. Why don't I go ahead and see if I can lighten the damage up on that and maybe glue pull that molding a little bit, and we can shave a few dollars off there. But I try to make it come from something else, not off.
That's the same here. I'm the same way.
Or yeah, it's not a race to the bottom. You know, throwing a door ding, say, hey, I'll buff out that little paint mark on your door for you. You know, just the little things.
Yep.
So essentially, yeah, the whole cash thing. I mean, hey, who doesn't like cash? I love cash, but it's not what, you know, I can't turn in, you know, to go and buy a home because I've collected a bunch of cash. I can't go buy a car with the credit if all, you know, they can't see any type of history. So, you know, there's a place for both cash and being straight up with credit cards and intaking your money in different ways. But I'd have to say, you know, too, like John was saying here, you know, always pull it from something else. There's always something that you can see as you're estimating something on a car and not saying anything. And then, you know, you've got your guns loaded. You're ready to go. As soon as you give that estimate, something comes back on you. You know what? I'll tell you what. No, it's not going to work. You're going to go, you know, this is the bill. And I'll tell you, I'm going to do this and this for free. Does that sound good? I mean, it's definitely something to barter with or to work with.
But, you know, Carl, when you're talking, or Ian, when you're talking cash and what you're talking about, there's two thought processes. One is business and the other is lifestyle business.
Yes.
So a business is what you have behind you, Ian, and what Carl has with Stucky Lighting. That's a tangible item.
Right.
You've got a building, you've got property, you've got employees. That's a full business. You know, and a lot of guys, and myself included in that, run a lifestyle business. So like when I stepped away from my hail company, there was nothing to sell. The company was my wife and myself. It was a lifestyle business.
Right.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but just understand that those are two separate entities. While yes, you still work for yourself, but you don't have anything to unload and sell. You don't have a business, you have a lifestyle.
That's right.
And there is a big difference into that.
What about you, Carl?
It's hard to sell an intangible. You know, a dent repair is an intangible. It's not like, here's a light or here's a wedge, you know, something that you have in your hands. You're selling a service, and people are only knowing your service ahead of time by either word of mouth or they've seen examples of your work. So it's really about selling yourself.
Right.
You know, in that case, he's like, hey, you know, how about $1,100 cash? Okay, well, you want to put another $700 on your credit card? You know.
Dude, I'm that way too. Yeah. You know,
Bruce has a good point.
But these are all things that you can't be told. I mean, honestly, I'm a firm believer of this. No matter how many guys I've trained, how many guys I've coached, it's something you can put it in the back of their head. But, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, guys and girls out there doing PDR. Cash is awesome. I love cash. But I'm going to do something like, you know, hey, we're going to, you know, do this job here. And then if you have other jobs coming in, if you can plan your day and do things, you know, a quick 200 here, this job here, maybe one big banger for, you know, $1,000 cash on a weekend, you know, because you're working on a weekend or doing something like that. But during the day, during the week, for the majority of the time, I'd say 85 to 90% of the time, I'm always, let's build on the business. Let's do our thing, you know, and that's why we're charging what we're charging. We're running a business, you know, there's a process that needs to be handled here, you know.
Like Bruce says, cash doesn't make the dent any smaller.
Yeah.
I had to put that up there. Bruce always has the good one, man. That guy, I could only imagine, along with the dogs that he carries around to sell his job, he's probably got all kinds of different sayings.
And it is true, but you know, you're not going to go get your mortgage or get your car loan, whatever you need, you know, or your business loan when you run everything through the cash, you know.
That's right.
And I can't tell you, out here where I live, I can't tell you how many different businesses I've seen people try to put up for sale, and it's like, oh no, but trust me, I make all this extra in cash. Oh, okay, yeah.
Man, I hear that so often, you know. Hey, the cash is a secret thing. You know, we are blessed with a business that, you know, when you start banging out jobs and you're able to really, you know, make money with PDR because you know it, man, I'll tell you, you know, there'll be days, record-setting days. I'm not going to name any numbers, but man, you know, where you built a ton on the books and you got a pocket full of cash, man. It's party time, you know. We're going to a movie and eating some M&Ms. That's my party time.
Man, nothing makes Dent seem cheap like going to a movie and eating M&Ms.
Dude, tacos. That or tacos, dude. I'll tell you what, John. We left you guys at there because you and your wife. Well, we were like, dude, we're not bringing anybody. Carl was like, dude, I got to let you in on these tacos. He brought me in over there, dude. And I'll tell you what, I've been dreaming about him ever since.
Man, you were a lot more adventurous than I was, Ian, too. Because Alma and I've been married for a long time, and I've spent a lot of time in Mexico. But I don't eat cactus. I don't eat a lot of that stuff. And anything you put in front of Ian, he's like, I'll try that. Yeah, I'll try that.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, man. We got to feed the 285. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that 285, is not going to feed itself.
See, I don't get to explore food because I'm a severe celiac.
Little snack tidbits, man. When he threw on those churros.
Oh my God, they were so good.
Man, I'm telling you what, I a couple of times I've gone to a couple of my buddies that rent some trucks out here, and I'm like, hey, do you have any churros? Do you have any strawberries? Or like, dude, what the heck's this guy? And it's like, dude, you got to go out there, man. You guys need to get schooled. But Jesse has written something. And Jesse, I'm not going to put that on the screen. I'm not doing it, because there are other people that are out here now. This is what he's writing, and you know what? We're blessed. We're blessed that there are opportunities to do something like that, but it's not every 5 minutes. And how many years did it take for you to be able to, one, source that, two, be able to complete it in that kind of time? Here's just a quick little story, and it happened yesterday. Believe me, I was quite upset about it. I really hold dear to me, man, the 30 years I got into this. But when I take care of a customer, go out of my way to take care of them on other jobs, then go and do another job for them for another customer, banged up old VW bug, bashed in fenders. The only thing you can do, because there's no paint on it, is to metal finish it. And even then, some guys fail at that. And I know what I'm doing. So I looked at him. I quoted him a price of $500 because I knew I was going to be a short term. I knew I was going to be under an hour. And I went ahead and did the job, and he was more than happy. Paid the $500. The check cleared. Everything was fine. 3 weeks later, he calls me up, and it's, how dishonest am I for doing something for $500 in 45 minutes, and that now he didn't agree to the price. And these kind of times make people crazy. And I'm telling you, I saw it in the recession. I saw it in all kinds of other stuff. Guaranteed I won't be doing work for this guy ever again, because, you always see who the people that you want to work for when times get tough.
We just did that same thing last week. Had a job sit out here waiting on insurance approval. It took a week to get the insurance approval, and then I banged it out in 1 day. Good job. I mean, it was hard work. I put everything that I had into it, and then Chad made the mistake because he was wanting to go home, because we're both 2 hours from our houses.
Right.
And so he was wanting to go home, so he called the customer, hey, pick that up in the morning. And then the guy's like, what I just got the approval on that, And ultimately, we should have let it sit over the 3-day weekend that we were both going to be gone, and had the customer pick it up on Monday.
Right.
Because mentally it would have prepared him, for all he knew, we put 5 people on that job to get it done in 1 day and get it back to him, and but the only thing he can correlate is, okay, I just called you at 8 o'clock in the morning and told you I got the insurance approval for that amount of money, and then you call me at 5 o'clock that night and go, I can pick it up in the following morning.
Right.
So he's just correlating that one guy made all that money right then and there. And the reality is, no, there was parts, there was everything else. All of it was sitting and waiting.
Right.
Once we got approval, I had all.
Am I wrong to say, these kind of questions don't come because people have the PhD or the doctorate, and because they're working on people's or humans, and it's like people go, well, you're comparing yourself to a doctor. You know what? I might not have the fancy 3-piece Armani, but I can go buy one, And you know why? It's because I work my butt off. I work my butt off 10, 12-hour days every day, have for years and years. Hey guys, I'll tell you what, Carl, I love you, brother. And I love your family, man. You guys are absolutely great. John, same with you, buddy. Love you too, man. And I do have to cut the show short. Like I said, I apologize for the beginning of the show being like it is. I can hear customers pulling up outside, getting ready to start banging on my door. So I've got to go make it happen. But thank you again for joining me.
Yeah.
And it's Carl Stucky with Stucky Tools and Phenom with doing dents. And everybody knows John Wrencham. I mean, he is the creator of MTRX, and I don't care about what anybody says. That's the face right there, and he always will be.
Hey, real quick, we're gonna start doing some more video content. So if you'll go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, Stucky Tools, we do like FAQ tips on how to keep your equipment working well. Just little
great.
Things like that for technicians.
Awesome.
Also, we've been posting a little more Dent content, also kind of explaining the process. I did a truck a couple weeks ago, 100% glue pull and hot box, no drilling or pushing.
You're going to see a lot more videos coming from me. I'm trying to do them weekly on these the bad damages that I'm doing, and you're going to see all my Stucky equipment in action.
That's right.
Because I got all Stucky halite and glue guns.
Dude, show them how to drive the rails. That's all I'm going to say. Driving the rails.
I made the mistake. I did a nasty F-150 roof last week, and I should have videoed it. I think I'm going to set up and do some time lapse of me actually doing some of them nasty ribs, because I'm doing a lot of them here at this wind down. So monster oversize and putting them ribs back, stretching.
Oh, and the other tip for new technicians: when you do your before and afters, there's some apps you can get to get the same angle. What I used to do is I'd mark where my tripod was, because that's my biggest pet peeve when I see before and afters, and it's like the afters are a totally different angle or a different spot on the vehicle. It doesn't.
That's why I'm trying to do video. That way I can for surely get that same angle in.
Right.
Yeah, set my light in the exact same position as my first video. That's the tough part. So. Cool, guys. Well, Ian, I appreciate you having me on.
I really
Ian, thanks. Good to see you, John.
Yeah, good seeing you too, Carl.
Definitely. We're going to have to get together and have some tacos.
Well, I've always been wanting to take a trip out to Denver, so I'll let you know. Maybe we can all meet up.
Dude, it's worth it. It is
we'll
so
go
worth
invade the taco block.
Oh, dude, I'm down. I'll make sure I starve myself for at least 10 minutes before.
And I'll try and post a link on our Facebook page too, so you got anybody out in the Denver area or near Denver, go visit Adrian. Give him some business and have some really good food.
It's a no-brainer. Cool. It's a no-brainer. They're so good. They're so good. Guys, thank you so much for being on here today. Everybody, please take care with all the stuff going on right now. Stay healthy, and but definitely take care. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Ian.
See y'all.
All right.
See you, John.
See ya.
All right, everybody. Another showdown. Great guys. I'm a little upset Wade didn't have the chance to come on here today, because that would have completed the dream team. That was the guys that were there in Colorado with me, and got to know a lot about him. But Carl is an awesome guy, great family man, and an incredible tech. So other than tools, maybe even if I know he's the type of guy you could get a hold of, and he would answer questions, help you out. Just a stellar guy. So with that, I conclude another episode of the Dentologist Live. Everyone, please take care and be kind to yourself and to others, and keep pushing. Bye-bye.